Guys, I'm pissed off, okay? I'm mad because not only was I right, but I didn't want to be right, okay? I've been saying that Shavkat was overrated. Not only that, I've been saying he's going to lose to Belal. And not only that, I've been saying he is boring. And I'm going to address these points right now because I already know that me saying he's boring is, whoa, what are you talking about? But I just want to get to the Belal point first. I'm pretty sure by now when the Belal fight's going to be announced, the betting odds aren't going to be Belal as a plus 250 underdog like they had him. It's probably going to have him as a favorite because Ian Gary just exposed that Shavkat ain't all that. He ain't all that, okay? And, I think Bilal's going to be shooting takedowns on this guy a hell of a lot more than Ian Gary did. And, what is Shavkat going to do? What has Shavkat demonstrated? Is he really that elite striker that some people were saying? Because people were acting like this guy, if he went out in there with Hamzat, he might be able to beat Hamzat. He's got the striking. He's got the grappling. He's such a mixed martial artist. Look at him. He's got 18 finishes. And it's just not the truth anymore. And a lot of people are going to be picking Belal now, okay? I can tell MMA Guru's making that switch, which before he wasn't. When the fight was first announced, I was saying that Belal Muhammad is going to 49-46, and now it's probably going to be a 50-45, but, I was saying a 49-46 Belal Muhammad. That's what I'm going to be 100% picking, and I was very confident in this pick. And now I'm pissed because my pick isn't going to be looking as good, okay? Because this is just an extreme oral loss for Shavkat. And anybody who thinks it's not, is delusional. Okay, you need to look at fighters objectively. I look at them objectively, and I wanted to be wrong about Shavkat. I wanted him to be the entertaining finisher who can do whatever, but I'm sorry, I've never seen him as that. Okay, I know he gets a lot of finishes, but you guys don't rewatch his fights. And sorry if you do when you genuinely find them entertaining, but dude, when I go back and rewatch his fights, when I watch the Wonderboy fight, when I watch the Neil Magny fight with him, when I watch the only fight he's had that I'll say was genuinely pretty good was the Jeff Neal fight, but even that, it had some dull moments in there because what does Shavkat love to do? He loves to clinch up against that fence and try and get a takedown, and he loves to really exploit what you're worst at. Okay, instead of this guy being, you'd think that this guy, 18 finishes, well, he must go in there and have a war with you. No, he just goes at what you're worst at, okay? And I'm not saying that's not smart. Obviously, that's what you should do as a fighter. You should exploit your opponent's weakness, but Ilia Topuria is going out there with Max Holloway, and he's fucking boxing, okay? You got these fighters that they can make it entertaining, and they can still be dominant. Whereas Shavkat, he's gotta fucking be, he's going to be Mr. Oh, I'm not going to strike with Wonderboy. I'm going to take him down and, submit him, which is so impressive. Even though I struggle against that Wonderboy fight was the fight that really made me... It's not that I don't like Shavkat, but it really made me feel like I don't understand why this guy gets glazed. Because, he struggled to take down Wonderboy, and he beat Wonderboy in the least impressive way. Okay, I'm sorry. That's probably the least impressive way to beat him. A guy like Buckley had a 10 times more impressive win because he knocked out Wonderboy. Okay, and he struck with Wonderboy, whereas, Shavkat, he was just clinching pretty much that whole fight. Go back and rewatch the fight, which you won't, because if you're a Shavkat fan, you're only a fan of those TikTok highlights, and whoa, he's got aura. And sure, he seems like he has a good personality, but, I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of his fights. I'm not a fan of what he does in the octagon, because all he does is clinch, and this fight finally showed that. Okay, I know I saw MMA Guru, I was in his stream, and he was complaining about it too, and I think a lot more people are starting to realize that, maybe this guy isn't as entertaining as his finishes might say he is, because the problem is you can still have a lot of finishes and not be entertaining, okay? I'd rather watch a Max Holloway fight where he's not necessarily getting a finish, but he's entertaining as shit, whereas Shavkat Rakhmonov, sure, he'll get the finish, but before that, it's 10 minutes of holding you up against the fence and trying to get you down. And, maybe he'll strike with you a bit, but, you're not going to get promised that. Because in this Ian Gary fight, he didn't want to strike. Okay, he didn't want to strike. Ian Gary was piecing him up. And, it's just embarrassing. It is embarrassing. The most exciting moment in this fight was Ian Gary getting that submission in. Okay, and I was hyped. I don't even like Ian Gary. I don't like Ian Gary. This guy's, he is unbearable, but at least, he is somewhat of a personality, okay? And he's somewhat of a, he's just I don't know, bro. I don't know. At least it'd be like a cool little villain, because I don't know. Shavkat's not a villain, okay? You know, you're not rooting for a villain if you're rooting for Shavkat. He's not a villain. He's not a Hamza Chimaev. And I'm sick of those comparisons. Oh my god, I don't think they're going to be happening anymore. But when they were happening, I would just cringe, because Shavkat versus Chimaev would just be a domination for Chimaev. Also, something I want to say is, if this were Belal Muhammad in there, he would get ridiculed. He would get slandered. If this were Marab, it would be, bro, oh my god, he's so boring. Please save us. Somebody please save us. And I'm sick of this. Because Belal, listen, arguably, he normally has more entertaining performances than this, okay? Belal Muhammad, at least he would get that takedown, okay? If he were in there with Ian Gary, he wouldn't be Mario Bautista maxing and holding him up against the fence. He would probably get the takedown, and we'd see Ian Gary struggling to get back to his feet. It'd be kind of entertaining, you know, it'd go to the striking, where Belal Muhammad actually does go to the striking sometimes, okay? He's not scared to strike. He's not scared to strike. He's not immediately going for a takedown. He at least strikes a bit, okay? Look at the Burns fight. It was all striking. And, you know, I can't, because it's such a double standard. People, I just don't know why they gravitate towards Shavkat. I'm sorry. I gravitate towards, me as a person, I gravitate towards fighters who are entertaining. And I'm sorry, I never understood why people find him so entertaining. Carlos Prates is like our only hope there at welterweight, because I'm sorry, I honestly think the whole division is overrated. And I've been saying this, okay? I thought Leon Edwards was going to beat Shavkat if they ever fought, and I'm sorry, if they genuinely fought, I would pick Leon Edwards to outpoint him in a boring decision, but, you know, I think he could do it. And everyone else there, it's so boring. Okay, JDM, I know JDM's entertaining, but he gets taken down and he can't do anything about it. He's overrated too. That whole division is overrated. It's arguably only Carlos Prates and maybe Buckley who are entertaining there, because at least Carlos Prates has that death touch. Shavkat doesn't have that death touch. I don't care what people think about him. He is so overrated. And this is going to sound like a complete hate video, but honestly, it's an I told you so video. Okay, because I've been saying this, and, you know, I'm kind of sad. I'm sad that Shavkat didn't live up to the people's expectations of being that killer. And, you know, the things that I've been hearing is, you know, dude, it's because you guys were underestimating Ian Gary, bro. No, it's not that Shavkat's bad, or it's not that he got fraud checked, which it's not. Okay, he's not bad. I'm not saying he's bad. But he's just, dude, he's not who people thought he was, okay? And no, going to a close decision with Ian Gary is a bad look. I'm sorry, but if you're being hyped up to be the killer and the boogeyman, going to a close decision against against Ian Gary is a bad look. This isn't something like, bro, no, you were underestimating Ian Gary. Shut the fuck up, bro. Okay, it has nothing to do with that. If you are this champ who's supposed to run through people and submit them and, you know, head kick KO them and spinning kick fucking dick kick KO them, you can't be doing this against Ian Gary, bro. And, you know, it's sad, okay? So, welterweight's fucked, again, in my opinion. You know, sure, we have some people there, but, you know, Ryan Battle just had a fucking terrible fight. And I was a Battle fan, okay? I'm still a Battle fan, but that was a terrible fight. Okay, now Carlos Prates is the only guy who can save us here, because JDM is just going to get taken down and fucking... That's the problem, bro. Welterweight's kind of cooked. I mean, that's it. Just a little bit of a rant video. I think I went over everything I wanted to. Also, wait, did I say he's inactive? Because he is. Shavkat's inactive as fuck, okay? Anyone else is this inactive, they get ridiculed. Okay? I've heard people talk about Ilya Toporia's inactivity because he was waiting for Max Holloway. They wanted this guy to fight Max Holloway on 301 after Max Holloway fought on 300. But, you know, Shavkat over here, if he would be the champ, we would be living in a fantasy land because he's the champ. It would be so perfect if Shavkat were the champ. Meanwhile, he fights once a year. Okay? I don't care about injuries. Sorry, but he's still... He doesn't fight. He doesn't fight a lot, okay? Guarantee you, he's going to be waiting a bit to fight, okay? You know, he's not a very active guy. And I like activity. I like these guys who are a little bit more active, okay? But, you know, that's it. If you're not going to be active, at least make up for it with a good fight, okay? Because this was a shit fight. And it wasn't on Ian Gary, okay? I'm sorry to tell you. This is just, you know, Shavkat finally getting exposed for the things I've been saying, okay? clinchmaxxer, you know, all that. Alright, that's it for the video. Sorry if I offended you. If you genuinely got offended by this, you're fucking weird, but, you know, that's it, okay?